All right, Joe's bored. I'm Joe. This the show. It is Monday, March 10th, 2025 on the day I hit record, and this is conference tournament week, ladies and gentlemen. We have officially made it to March. Clap it up, everybody. Clap it up. We've officially made it to March, y'all. We've officially made it to March. Let me take a sip. That damn creaky chair. Yes, I still got it. Yes, I still have the creaky ass chair. Take a sip of this. Cheers, everybody. Cheers to March. We made it to you. Boom. Cheers. Mm-mm. Yes, that cold that I had in the last episode did end up getting worse, like I thought it would. But I was able to kick its ass, return to normal, and here we are again for another edition of Joe's Board. But before we get into conference tournament week, the show was brought to you by our guy, Jake from Progressive at Progressive Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram in Massillon, Ohio. If you or anybody you know is looking to get into a new vehicle, go to Progressive Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram in Massillon, Ohio. Ask for Jake, and he'll get you in something that's right for you. Now, this is just going to be strictly about college basketball conference tournaments. I'm not going to talk about NFL offseason. It's day one. Some shit may have happened. You might have heard about it. Maybe Myles Garrett is staying with the Cleveland Browns. Money solves a lot. I'm not going to talk about that, though. I'm not going to talk about how the Cleveland Browns also traded DTR and a couple of draft picks to the Philadelphia Eagles for Kenny Pickett. I'm just not going to talk about it. This is all about getting you ready for college hoop season. And yes, the video is a success. We fucking got YouTube now, so subscribe to Joe's Board. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff anywhere. But let's get into it, man. It's the March is the October of spring. And those of you that get that, get that. I'm prepared. I've got and what I mean by that, I'm scatterbrained still a little bit. What I mean by March is the October of spring is that you have a nice weather change going from one extreme to the next and doing it sort of like fall where you're dropping drastically, we're rising drastically, and after this winter, god damn, we needed it. Um, there's a lot of great sports on. The college NCAA tournament's about to fucking start. We are days away from Selection Sunday. And I've been thinking about live streaming Selection Sunday on YouTube, like reacting as the bracket gets revealed. And I've also thought about live streaming filling out my bracket this year. Let me know, comment. Let me know if you would be interested in any of that. Because I think that'd be a fun thing to do. Either one or both. But let's get into it, man. Conference tourney week has started. I wrote down shit on a paper with some pen. I didn't just use the iPad. I've got the iPad actually pulled up, though, on games that are going on because some tickets have already been punched. You have SIU Edwardsville in Ohio Valley, their first NCAA tournament, believe it or not. Who would have thought? SIU Edwardsville. If you can hear that paper in the mic, I'm sorry. We'll figure that out. High Point. I love this High Point team. High Point they've covered a lot and they're really fun to watch, man. I don't know, probably get a 16, 15. Uh Depending on who they get, they might be able to pull out a first round upset. They got this cat that plays guard come off the bench. He's insane, y'all. He's insane. I wish I could remember his name, but I've heard so many names for the first time over these past few weeks that it's impossible to keep track of everybody. So High Point from the Big South, it's their first NCAA tournament appearance. Lipscomb from the Atlantic Sun, they haven't made the tournament since 2018. Our Drake Bulldogs from the Missouri Valley Conference, they're first since last year. But I'll tell you something about Drake. They haven't covered recently. I believe they covered against Bradley in the Missouri Valley Championship game. But believe it or not, I gambled against them. I actually took Bradley in an upset because this would have been a situation where had Bradley beaten Drake and Drake not make the tournament, Drake might have stolen a bid from somebody because the Drake Bulldogs are as advertised. my opinion has changed on them a little bit to where I don't think they'd be able to make it to the Sweet 16 like I thought originally. They're starting to kind of get stagnant and they're starting to kind of slow down a little bit. So Drake's a team to keep your eye out for. You have Omaha from the Summit, their first NCAA tournament, and Omaha only made it. Had they lost that game to St. Thomas, St. Thomas made the jump from Division III to Division I. And in the NCAA, when you make a jump, you're not allowed to compete in the postseason for some reason. I don't understand that. If you're good enough to make the jump, a lot of shit's going to be done this episode. So sorry for the pauses. But if you're allowed to make the jump from Division III to Division I, wouldn't you think you'd be good enough already to compete in the postseason? Don't rule NCAA. Let's be better. So, moving on to in-progress tournaments, we had a winner in the Sun Belt, the championship. Troy beat Arkansas State tonight. In the SoCon, you had Wofford top Furman. They're going dancing. Those tickets are punched. Games that have already happened as of 9:34 p.m. March 10th, 2025. The CAA in the semifinals, Delaware beat Towson. You have Charleston against UNC Wilmington going on right now. The Horizon is in the semifinals with Oakland against Robert Morris. And let's see if I can get that score real quick. Robert Morris won in overtime. They topped the Oakland Bears, or is that what they're called? Bruins, maybe? I don't know. They had Jack Golke last year who beat Kentucky in a round of 64 upset. But Robert Morris is moving on. YSU, the Youngstown State Penguins, are playing the Cleveland State Vikings as I record this. The Big Sky in the third round, Montana State beat Idaho State, and Idaho is playing Portland State later on. The Southland quarterfinals saw Northwestern State beating Texas A&M CC. You have Incarnate Word versus Nichols going on as we speak. And the West Coast Conference semifinals between Pepperdine and St. Mary's and San Francisco versus Gonzaga, with the championship being Tuesday the 11th. And that's more than likely going to be St. Mary's versus Gonzaga. Let's see what's going on as we record this. St. Mary's is up by 4 on Pepperdine, 25-21 with 7:56 left to go in the first half. Those are the tournaments that are going on right now as I record this. The tournaments that start on Tuesday, you have the Big 12, the MAC with 2 A's, the SWAC, Conference USA, the ACC, the America East, and the WAC all start on Tuesday the 11th. On Wednesday the 12th, the A10, the Big 10, the AAC, the Big East, the SEC, the MEAC, the Mountain West Conference, and the Big West all start their conference tournaments. And Thursday starts the MAC with 1A. Their conference tournament starts. That championship game is Saturday. The Ivy League starts Saturday with Princeton facing off against Yale and Dartmouth going up against Cornell. I'll tell you this, Yale is going to be the team that comes out of the Ivy League. Yale is insanely good. Yale has a shot to make it to not only the round of, or the Sweet 16, I believe they can make it to the Elite 8. I think Yale is that good. I think they're that well coached. And I think they might be that team that crashes one of these parties. But it all depends on how the bracket ends up. There's a lot of teams on the bubble. There's a lot of teams that are fighting for their lives this week. One of those teams, I would have to say, would be the Xavier Musketeers. Xavier's turned it on at the right time. Xavier's playing the right style of basketball that you would like to see a tournament team play. In the Big East, if we're going to preview these a little bit, I might as well while we're here. I'm bored. I got nothing else to do. Excuse me. Ooh. In the Big East, St. John's would probably be your favorite there. Don't be surprised. The conference championship week is all to look out for the surprise. Like the teams that are favorite, that already got a spot in the dance, that you already know are going to be playing postseason ball in the tournament, they usually don't win the conference tournament. The ones to look out for are the ones that are fighting for their lives, like Xavier in the Big East. Clemson has an opportunity to topple Duke in the ACC tournament since they were the last team to beat the Blue Devils. The Big Ten, Michigan State's favored. Michigan State's very good. Wisconsin is falling off. Michigan is falling off. Illinois is your team on the bubble that if they didn't want any sort of question on whether or not their resume stacks up, just go win the conference tournament and boom, you're in. So I would watch out for Illinois in the Big Ten. Let's go sleepers. Let's talk sleepers. Xavier's my sleeper in the Big East to win it. Illinois is my favorite in the Big Ten to win it. In the ACC, I will go ahead and North Carolina needs to win it to have zero doubt. I don't think they're in if they don't win it, but to have zero doubt, you might want to go ahead and just win the conference tournament. But I take Clemson there. I think Clemson's going to be your team that goes through, and Duke maybe rests some guys maybe and starts looking ahead to the next round, which is the tournament. The SEC. I've watched a lot of Florida Gator basketball of late. There's no question Auburn is the best team in the country. Alabama's very fraudulent. The Florida Gators are a great over team. They hit the over easily almost every week. And they're good, man. They're really, really good. They're really, really good. I would watch out for the Florida Gators. I really would. I'd keep them on your radar and maybe sprinkle a little something on the Florida Gators to win the SEC. The Big 12, Kansas needs it. Kansas they're fighting a battle amongst themselves that we have no idea what's going on. Kansas needs it. Texas Tech could do it. But I think this is your case where Houston wins it because they're the better team far and away from everybody in that tournament, in that conference, I mean. I think Houston wins the Big 12. The MAC with 1A should come down to Akron and Kent State, and Akron probably pulls that out. Akron looks like they're the better team this year out of the two. The WAC, I believe, would be New Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at that real quick. Good podcasting. Another team to think about in the Big Ten. You've got Indiana and you've got Ohio State. I don't think either team deserves it. I think they've won big games late that would kind of skew how you feel about them. But those are two other teams to think about when sprinkling some money. Mississippi State doesn't really need it, but there's a lot of teams that need to just slam the door shut. Like, yeah, we're here. And winning the conference does that for you. I'm looking up who the WAC is. That is Grand Canyon, UT Arlington. No, that's not who I'm thinking the WAC is. Where the fuck is New Mexico at? Oh, the Mountain West would make sense. Yeah, anyway. Sleepers would be Xavier, Illinois. Go ahead and throw Ohio State and Indiana in there in the Big Ten. The ACC, Duke might go ahead and win it outright, but don't sleep on Clemson. Clemson's very good. Clemson's very talented. The SEC, I'm gonna go ahead and say the Gators. A&M's been tailing lately. Alabama is not very good. Tennessee could sneaky make a run, but Auburn looks like they're on a mission. Do not trust Kentucky. Stop trusting Kentucky. Don't trust Purdue. Stop trusting Purdue. But those are my kind of sleepers. Those are who I like. That's what's going on this week. The big conference tournament championships. The Big 12 is on Saturday. The ACC is on Saturday. Conference USA is on Saturday. Big 10 Sunday. Big East Saturday. SEC Sunday. The Atlantic Athletic Conference is Sunday. The Mountain West is Saturday. The MAC with 1A Saturday. And the Ivy League is Sunday. Let's go ahead, fucking have a good conference tournament week. A lot of basketball on. It's time to jump in now. I'll be back probably Thursday. I'll probably have an episode air Thursday with other things that are going on. But I wanted y'all to know when everything was starting, who's got tickets punched already. Maybe we'll live stream. Like I said, comment, let me know. We'll fill out a bracket live together. Yeah, let's have a good week. Let's get ready for Selection Sunday. Next week's gonna rock. Next week is gonna rock. I'm so excited. I can't wait. But that's it. That's all I got. Everybody stay safe. Go sports, baby.